Identity crisis is one of the major causes of depression. Now, I know that sounds counterintuitive. How does identity crisis link to depression? Well, my friend, it has a lot to do. For the most part of your life, you've heard teachings that champion action, do this, be motivated, don't hit the snooze button, etc., etc., and all of these teachings that point at action and discipline. And that's right, by the way. But if you've listened to my other teaching, understanding the kind of depression you have, you would naturally come to the conclusion that depression has so many expression of causes. So it's not just one singular cause for depression. There's a loss of a family member, there's lack of purpose, and in this case, identity crisis. For instance, let's look at what this teaching has been pointing at. Objectively so, it says take action. It could be something as jackass as reading 30 pages daily or going to the gym. Let's say you go to the gym, you start working out, you're seeing results, you begin uploading photos of your progress online. Okay, cool, you now have the 6 packs, you've attained your dream physique. What next? Exactly. This is the problem with those motivational speakers. They hype you up, make you spoil you to take action, and leave you halfway. Most of the things on the internet are just regurgitated bullshit. It's all pointing to one point, no new perspective for one problem. They think there's only one solution or only one cause to a problem, which is fallible. One thing I will point out is this. When you start going to the gym and you've attained your dream physique, you don't know what to do next with your life. You have zero idea of what you're doing, because action in ignorance is a recipe for failure. You've attained this dream physique, now you are a depressed, muscular man. So your latter state is worse than your former state. Now, I'm not trying to disregard your hard work or the efforts you put into getting that physique. In fact, I recommend and I commend your efforts, because that trait you developed during the days of training would be applicable to the keys I'm about to share with you. So the trait of diligence, the trait of consistency, all of them have a role to play. I want you to trust that it was all preparing you for this video, for what you're about to hear. While I was preparing this teaching, I was very excited because I know someone's problem is about to solve. I know someone's issue is about to be solved once and for all. If you fit into that description, you're not suffering from depression. You lack identity. You have zero idea of who you are. Majority of people think identity is your name. If I ask you who are you, you're most likely to respond with your name. But that's wrong. Totally wrong. Identity is what you're synonymous with, what you're linked with. When I say your name, something should ring a bell. And we also have this flawed idea that people are born with the identity, that you have to be a natural. It's something that comes naturally to you. But if I say Elon Musk, what comes to your mind? Exactly. If I say Kobe Bryant, what comes to your mind? Exactly. You now see that identity is not something that comes natural, but is based, is crystallized on the back of hard work and consistency. That's where those traits you develop comes into play. How do you find your identity? Well, identity have pointers. For instance, if you see someone with a stethoscope, what do you call the person? If you see someone with a hammer and nail, what do you call the person? So find activities you naturally gravitate towards and double down on it. Take that same vigor of diligence and discipline, attach it to it. Attach it to it. Some of you might say, why even bother? Well, why not? No one wants to be a mediocre. No one wants to live an unsuccessful life. So my friend, attach it to that pointer and you'll be fine. Start developing that trait extensively. Now, when I say this straight, I don't want you or activities you gravitate towards. Don't pick something as jackass as playing video games. I wanted to be a pro FIFA player, but the reality of it is there are so many nuances and there are so many things out of your control, such that 30%, 30 to 40% of it accounts towards luck. Someday your keeper might be Buffon, someday he might be Victor Vladet. Is it your fault if someone scores a screamer or your player commits a handball? Those things are outside your control. So that's not what I mean. Say you love reading, for instance. Find a way to monetize that habit. Create a YouTube channel. 5 things I learned from Rich Dad Poor Dad. 5 things I learned from this, summary of that, and make it so valuable such that people you begin to build a fan base or attention. Now you get compensated for doing what you love. So monetize your habits and you'll be fine. Chances are excellent. That's the best thing about doing what you love, is you never get discouraged. So at the initial stages of your channel, when you're hitting the low view count, the low like count, you still persist, because to you it's fun, to others it's work. So, and the universe rewards diligence and importunity. It's in the scripture that we saw. Remember the unjust judge, the man who neither feared God or regarded man. When the widow kept knocking on his door, he got to a point where he said, I will avenge her at adversary unless she weareth my soul. You can weary life. You don't stand in the front of the gates of destiny and speak English. Open for me, open for me. You take it by force. You break that gate. That's how champions win. Another door closed. You force it to open. Don't give up. You don't relent. That's how champions do it. I overuse this example, but take for instance a child, 3-year-old kid or 4-year-old kid. You push him on the floor, he gets up with tears in his eyes. You push him on the floor, he gets up again, comes at you, you push him and keep doing that, he keeps getting up. You get to a point where you just let him be. Then with his tiny fists, he jabs you a little bit and he's satisfied. Or you take him to his guardian, his parents, or whoever is in charge of that child. But who won? Exactly. So if you keep getting up with tears in your eyes, you would achieve it, because the universe rewards diligence and importunity. As always, my friends, it's a pleasure speaking to you. I'll see you in the next one.